I'm grateful that President Trump is willing to talk about paid leave, but his policy, unfortunately, is woefully inadequate. It's only a parental leave policy, which we need paid leave for all life events. So whether it's your mother who's dying of cancer, whether it's your father who's ill or pulled a muscle in his back and can't walk, we need to take care of our loved ones. And so having a parental leave only policy isn't enough, and having it be only 6 weeks isn't enough, and having it be unpaid for is really egregious. To expect states to pay for this out of unemployment insurance is really just means it's not paid for and means it's not going to happen. So I'd be grateful if the President would focus on a real paid leave plan, like the one that I've written with Congresswoman DeLauro, which is about having an earned benefit that people buy into, like we have unemployment insurance or disability insurance, having that personal insurance that you buy in, and it's not expensive if it's a national policy. It's about $2 a week. It would change everything, because that diversity would bring not only a diversity of ideas, a diversity of worldview. We'd have different problems that needed to be solved, and we'd have different solutions being offered because of the lens that women would bring to their work. We certainly would have paid leave already by now. We'd have equal pay. We'd have a living minimum wage. A lot of things I think would change having that diversity of opinion in Washington. We certainly wouldn't be debating whether women should have access to birth control if we had 51% of women in Congress. I think for most families, it's just the ability to work hard and provide for their families. And unfortunately, for a lot of folks, the economy's left them behind. And so a lot of it's about how do we educate our workers and retool their skills so that they have the ability to take these jobs today that are open. But also, how do we make sure our kids are being trained for the jobs of the future? And we talked a lot about STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and math, making sure you're getting into those grade schools and high schools, making sure women and minorities have opportunities to focus on these areas of education, because truly 8 out of 9 of the fastest growing industries require proficiency in science and technology and math. So we need to make sure our students have it. So I think there's a lot we can do with education reform. I think there's a lot we can do with restructuring the economy to work for all people, rewarding work as sort of the global mandate, reward work. So whether that means raising the minimum wage or a national paid leave plan, or different incentives for companies to do things like profit sharing or employee ownership, that's where our work needs to be.